Miron Muslic's first game as new Argyle head coach ended in a draw on Tuesday night as Argyle had to come from behind to rescue a point against Oxford United. So not the win that many would have been wanting, but definite positive signs in there. And bearing in mind that Muslic had only taken charge of one training session, I suppose, the only way is up in terms of the trajectory. This is Argyle Analysis. We were saying during the coverage, Brian McGlinchey was on commentary with me, and he basically said, a bit like what you mentioned there, it wasn't quite against the run of play, the two goals, but both goals came against the grain or the flow in which the halves were going.
Yeah.
You'd argue that Argyle had the better of the first half but went in 1-0 down. Oxford were probably the better team in the second half, and we won that second half 1-0 and it ended up being one apiece.
Yeah, and I think that's about right. You know, I think a draw was probably a fair result on the night, and you know, whilst people might look at it and go, we should be beating Oxford, but Oxford are in a good run of form.
Yeah.
They've got a new manager. What would that have been? 10 points from 12 that they would have taken potentially?
Well, up until yesterday, no team in the Championship had picked up more points since Rout had come in.
So they're in good form, you know, and so they've come to Home Park in the ascendancy going, well, we're in good form. When you're in that mindset, you feel like you can't be beat. So all in all, the fact that they didn't lose the game meant that, you know, Oxford aren't no longer they're not 3 points in front of us.
Yeah,
further ahead, I should say.
Right. You mentioned positive signs. And definitely going forward, we've seen it on a few occasions this season at home, but there were other bits you saw.
Yeah, I mean, it started, you know, what I liked here, watch Puac's bottom of the screen. He will go against the flow. So everyone at Oxford will gravitate towards the ball. He goes in the opposite direction because it creates space on the opposite side of the pitch. Randall's got a great range of passing. He makes a fantastic ball wide. And not only that, Charlie, what I like, El Hadj is going to be the recipient of it. Puac just has a little look. So it's a measured cross. It's not just whip it into an area and hope someone gets onto it. There's intent in there. And he offered so much quality on that left-hand side during the evening. And as we build through here, this is El Hadj picking up a loose ball. So we gravitated towards the ball well and snuffed out the danger, working some good feet. And, you know, didn't test the keeper as such in terms of making him save, but it was a half chance nonetheless. And this all happened in the first half. And I'm going to note this bit here, what they call the half space. So that area we've highlighted is known as the half space. And Muslic has already echoed this about getting players in that half space and being creative. So we've got El Hadj and Morgan Whittaker. So what I like here is Beidou is going to occupy the back line by threatening in behind. That will widen that half space, allowing Galloway to play into El Hadj, who takes a brilliant touch away from the nearest pressure point. But not only that, watch Whittaker now. He's going to make a run which disrupts and distracts the left back, allowing Bali Mumba to get on the ball on the opposite side. And, you know, these are nice combinations. So the fact that we worked it into this play here is easy because the momentum's lost slightly here, but watch now, we highlighted the red zone, look at Darko JB and look at El Haj. They're going to attack the ball with intent. So as the ball comes back to, I think, Pleguezello, good ball in, and like we've already seen, that's not too dissimilar to El Haj's header that led to the goal in the second half. So lots of positivity. The way that they're working the ball, here's your half space. So get in those little slithers between Oxford's midfield unit and back line. What I like about this now, Randall's going to play a vertical pass that will attract the Oxford centre-back towards El Haj because he's a danger, freeing up space for Beidou. Now we've got a 2v1 on that highest line. So Puac has continued his run. Beidou's identified it. Puac is going to put a ball into that dangerous red zone. And as it comes in, it's a terrific ball in. And Morgan Whittaker is unlucky not to get on the end of it. So lots of positives building in throughout the evening. And this is the last clip we've got, which is actually the goal. So they're working the ball. Now, Oxford eventually try and work out, or they do work out, that that half space isn't available anymore because they've just dropped a little bit deeper. So if you collapse into that space, it means other space is available elsewhere. Randall identifies it, plays a simple pass out to Brendan Galloway. Now we're on the last line, but look at El Haj. Similar to the first half, he just gets in between. It's a measured cross from Puac. He looked up, saw what he wanted to do, and it led to a great finish.